Hello everybody and welcome to RedstonePlanet, and today I'm going to be going over some more new items that can be found in the new Minecraft snapshot, and we're also going to be going clocks, excuse me, and monostable circuits, and I'll explain all of those as we go, but for now just keep in mind that's what we're going to be going through, and yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you guys is the Redstone Comparator. The Redstone Comparator basically compares two redstone signals and outputs based on the compared signals, pretty much. So here we have two 15 block long redstone dust trails, whatever you want to call them, or redstone dust lines, as I call them here. And one is labeled line 1, excuse me, and one is labeled line 2. Line 1 is always the one in the back, and line 2 is always the one on the side. So basically, right now I have it in a sort of, there are two modes to a as a comparator. Let's start off with that. There are two modes to it, and one is called the subtraction mode, and the other is basically the comparator mode. You could think about it this way. Pretty much, if you have a 15 block long line like this one, and you have a 14 block one like this one, because that's where I'm powering it from, is the 14th block to the end, and I moved it 2 blocks in, so now it's outputting 2 blocks. So if I move it up 1, it'll output 3, but if you really want to think about it in technical terms, 0, 1, 2, but yeah, pretty much just think of it that way. It's much easier. Okay, so next cool thing with redstone comparators is it functions kind of like a repeater, except it outputs at a half tick delay, and you can't adjust the delay on this unless you were to extend it. And pretty much, basically, if you output one direct signal from A, or line A, it'll output the same strength as this block is right here. So this block right here is being directly powered by this torch, so it's having the maximum amount of power going into this line right now, therefore outputting a full 15 block long output. So as I reduce this, if I move it back by 1 block, it'll actually reduce it to 14, because I pretty much just moved this back, and now the input going into the comparator is now weaker by 1, and it outputs the same strength of this redstone dust right here. So it'll actually output 1 less, and as you move it back, so on and so forth. Okay, so the next thing I want to show to you is the redstone, well, not really redstone, but the hopper. It is added in the new Minecraft snapshot and is very useful for transferring items into specific blocks that can hold items, such as dispensers, droppers, and other cool block holding items. You can also use them if you have a minecart with a chest in it. You can transfer items into the chest in the minecart using these hoppers. Now, hoppers are pretty easy to use, pretty basic. I'm just going to go over it, just to show you the basics and how it entirely works. So pretty much, it's very simple. If it is not powered, it'll start automatically transferring items into the chest, starting with the first slot on the left, and transferring that into the chest. And to stop it from transferring, all you do is simply place a torch next to it, and that is all. And you can even place the hopper behind. I'm pretty sure you can place it behind. Okay, let me just, you can shift and then right click on the chest, and it will basically, you'll have these hoppers going into this chest. So very, very cool. You can have it for basically a hidden hopper, where you could have items, given to a player in an adventure map, or just some cool ideas like that. It can be very useful, just in general. So, moving on. Okay, so one thing I did not go over in the last tutorial I made was the difference between a dispenser and a dropper. And a dispenser and a dropper are pretty much have the same basic concept, except one will actually give the item while the other will actually, shoot certain items. So let's say what I mean by that is, let's say, oh wait, did I pick up the item? I think I did. Uh-oh. Yeah, I picked up the item. Okay, let me move back and do it this time. Okay, so as you can see, this dispenser is firing while this dispenser is shooting out the arrow instead of actually shooting it all the way over here. It's dropping it right out in front. This can be useful for giving players items like arrows, special bonuses in your map maybe. It's not really efficient for giving people stacks, but stacks of certain items, but it can be pretty useful for other things. Okay, so moving on again, we have redstone clocks. So as you can see here, I have a flashy light of trippiness here, and pretty much what a clock is this a system that takes a signal and just kind of puts it in a circle really fast. So this is a 2-tick timer, or 2-delay timer, and it's 2/10 of a second, so it's flashing pretty fast. So, oops, keep on doing that. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty annoying actually. But yeah, this isn't the most efficient way to make a timer or clock. Over here, I have a system with a piston that allows me to turn on and off the clock. So pretty much, you can place a lever or whatever you want right here. I'm just going to use the redstone torch. And based on what I taught you in the last tutorial, we transfer a redstone signal through this block. And I'm using the other method. We could actually have the repeater on this side if we wanted to, and have a piece of redstone over here. And so yeah, it pretty much transfers it through the block and back around into the piston, pushing it out. And when this loses power, it pulls the piston back, allowing another redstone signal to go through and power the piston again. So pretty much it's a big, huge circle. And over here we have another clock that's not really efficient, but you can do it if you want to using redstone blocks. You can take it and do this, and it'll just do the same thing as we did over there, except it'll be infinite, because this redstone block will be powering this repeater, and it goes back in the piston, pushing it away, and when it unpowers, it pulls it back. It then sends another signal back into the piston, and it can be it's really annoying too. Another thing I wanted to explain is that you cannot have a setup like this where you have 1 tick of delay. Otherwise, you'll end up with something like this. Basically, it pulsed so fast that it pushed the block out and never pulled it back. Even though this is a sticky piston, that's what it would do. Okay, so the final thing is monostable circuits. That's pretty much like the same thing I showed over here with the clock. I showed you how if we had only 1 tick of delay, it would push out the piston, never pull the block back. Well, the monostable circuit basically takes a redstone signal that is long and turns it into a really short signal, or however long the signal you want it to be. So here I have a button, and as you can see, I have a 1 tick of delay here, or 1 delay. So when I press this, there's a piston under here. This will power the piston down here, pushing this block up. Now by the time it powers the piston, a redstone signal would have already been able to travel through this block into this repeater. And you can have them coming out kind of like a 90-degree angle like this if you wanted to. Now the block sides pretty much. So yeah, when I press the button, it allows a very short signal through. And if I wanted to extend the signal, I could just add more to that repeater. So now it's a 2-tick, turning this button's long redstone signal. I'm not sure how long button actually emits a redstone signal, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot longer than 1 tick, so, or 2 ticks for that matter. So here, yeah, a lot more than 2 ticks, probably like 4 ticks, but yeah, you can see here, and if I turn it back to 1, bam. So yeah, we can shorten up the signal to whatever we want, and yeah, I think it is about 4 ticks, because this turned off just about the same time as this. Alright, so I know I've been going over lots of basics. I say this in every single episode because some people who watch it, I know I don't have a lot of people who watch yet, but some people who do watch are probably like, this is boring, this isn't for me yet. I will get into more crazy detailed stuff in the future. This world's going to be filled with redstone by the time we're done. So thank you guys again. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.